Why do we fall, Bruce? Because it's Batman week here on My Sketchy Habit. Hello, my name's Patrick, I'm an artist, and this is My Sketchy Habit, a place where we draw every day and we don't have to be ashamed, because we're art positive. Do you ever have that experience where you draw something and you're like, oh, I don't really like it, and it kind of sticks with you and it makes you worry about your drawing and it makes you think, I don't know if I should ever draw again? We've all been there, trust me, I know. But the truth is, art is fun. Drawing is a good time. And you don't have to worry about how you feel about your art. You can just draw it and have a good time. And that's what we do here on My Sketchy Habit. Speaking of which, we have an art gallery where we share art from you. All you have to do is join our Discord down below and share your image in the section where we share images. And I'd love to put it up here on the screen. For now, we do have a daily prompt, and our daily prompt on Friday was Rejected Dr. Seuss. Here's my version of Rejected Dr. Seuss. Again, I'd love to see yours, any of our prompts, or anything you're really working on. I would love to see it. Throw it down in the Discord, and we'll throw it here on the screen. Don't forget to stick to the end to see what today's prompt is. For now, it's time for us to go to the Dark Knight. That's right, it's time for us to do Batman week. We are doing style swaps of Batman this week, but of course, we gotta get an OG Batman before we get going, so let's draw the OG Batman. All right, today we are drawing Batman, as I said, and I decided to go with a Batman that has the vibes of a Batman the Animated Series Batman. He's one of my favorites. I used to watch the Batman Animated Series all the time. It was on Saturdays and Sundays at 5 o'clock, 2 episodes, and I would just sit and watch. And I hated it when it got canceled because of golf. There'd be some days where it's like, oh, we're showing golf today. And it'd be like, what? Show Batman. Why are you showing golf? Anyways, we're building out the body here. Trying to get the proportions right in our initial sketch here. So we're working on arm and cape and torso. I think the torso is a little bit wide right now. We might adjust that, I think. We'll see. But yeah, I really like drawing this Batman and all the style swaps we're doing this week. It's super fun to draw, and I'm really excited to get the chance to show you what we were working on. Who's your favorite Batman villain? There are a lot of them, and they're all interesting, and a bunch of them are super weird. So there's lots of potential to find one that you really hate or really love. But I am a big fan of Clayface. Clayface is one of my favorite Batman villains. I don't know why. Maybe it's the partial tragic story. I also really love the way that they did that story in the original Batman the Animated Series with the actor using the face cream and all that stuff. If you haven't watched the original Batman Animated Series, you really should. It's quite something, and it's some of the best Batman I've ever watched or read. I was surprised to learn that a number of the stories that I know about Batman villains comes from the telling or retelling of them in the animated series. Of course, it gave us Harley Quinn, one of the favorites in the world. But I learned Mr. Freeze's backstory and a couple other characters' backstories. They come from the animated series, but they just gave so much love and attention to them in these little 20, 30-minute episodes. It's wild. We have the majority of our Batman on screen now. We do need to refine a face in here shortly, but we've got a nice pose that I think reflects Batman really well, which should help us when it comes to our line art. You can see here I've lightened the opacity, and now I'm going to get in here and try to do a bit of the sketch on the face. I don't draw the whole body again. It doesn't really need it, but the face definitely needs some work and some placement, so we're working on that on this layer. Working on a separate layer is great because it allows you to work in a non-destructive way, right? So if I erase stuff here or work on stuff here, I can erase it without worrying about the initial sketch. With that, it is time for game time. Now this week we're doing something a little different. We're doing a game where I draw a Batman villain with my eyes closed. Can you figure out which Batman villain it is with my eyes closed and terrible drawing? Let's check it out. Alright, let's get to the line art, and for this one, you know, we're working fast and loose on these lines. They're not too complicated, they are smooth and sharp. That eye is a little bit tricky, but ultimately our Batman just needs to have some refining of the sketch that we've already done, and really just need to follow through on what we started already. You can see me, I'm trying to make these sort of square fists. I think that work really well for Batman. And of course he needs that utility belt, the underwear of a good superhero, and you know, some interesting perspectives on the legs. I think these shoes gave me a little bit of trouble when I started, but we got there. Once we get this cape in here, we will basically be at the end of our line art. We don't need to get too much detail on this figure. They are an animated Batman, and I think once we get this in, it'll be time. It's time for the dad joke, bad joke. My dad sends me a joke every single day in WhatsApp, and I like to collect those jokes so I can share them with you. And today we have a Batman related joke, and it goes like this. How do you get Batman into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? How do you get Batman into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? You hang him on a wall, and now he's a Bruce Banner. He's a Bruce Banner. How do you get Batman into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? You hang him on a wall, and now he's a Bruce Banner. That is the dad joke, bad joke. Emphasis on the bad joke. Let's get back to the art. And it's last but not least, it's color time. And of course, we're pulling colors from the animated series. We need that traditional gray on black, on blue, on yellow. You can see me here actually undoing some of my color work because I realized the inside of the cape needed to be blue. I also took the time to do the shading on this one. It's a little different than I would normally do. Following with the style of the animated series, they have very dramatic shading made primarily from changing the color tone directly. So rather than doing my traditional layered masked multiply layer, I went through with a fine tooth comb and made sure to draw in these sort of blue shadows on top of the black and these gray shadows on the gray, etc., etc. You can see me working on it here. I did make a mistake. I used the wrong layer, and so this is all on one layer until we did the shadows, which means my line art needs to be protected. But I think we got, in the end, somewhere close to what we wanted for this character, and I'm really happy with how it turns out. We'll get some highlights on here, and we will be ready to show you the final reveal of our Batman. And that's our Batman. I really love how he turned out. He definitely hits that Batman animated series vibe that I love so much. We are going to continue making Batmans this week, so why don't we put this one deep into the city to make sure it is ready for its first adventure, and for the rest to join him. For now, that's going to be it for our drawing today, but remember, we do have an art gallery that looks like this, and of course we have a new prompt for today. I do want to see your art. If it's a daily prompt or if it's something else, I just want to see it. Share it. Join the Discord down below to be a part of that community. We love having people there. For now, our prompt for today is Funky Toasters. Funky Toasters. What does that mean? I don't know. That's what art is all about. Discovery and stuff, maybe. Either way, that is the end of the video for today. Thank you so much for being here. But don't forget our one rule about My Sketchy Habit, which is really our sketchy habit. Don't tell anyone about our sketchy habit. That's between you and me. Till next time, friends, keep being awesome. Bye!